What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bronx Pinstripes Show. Happy Father's Day, Scott.
Oh yeah, it's Father's Day, isn't it? No, you know what? This is such an overshadowed day for the test of time. I feel like fun dad on his glass that Andrew's showing me right now. Happy Father's Day, man. It's a good day. I'm out in Eugene, Oregon. My little brother is graduating college at the University of Oregon. We just got finished with his graduation ceremony. And I've been running some cornhole boards here with a bunch of gin and tonics. So this is an episode.
You and your G&Ts. You're talking about it the other episode with the Didi Gregorius souvenir cup.
I'm showing right now. It's an Oregon cup. There was a debate here for a long time. It looks like a Solo cup, but it's actually made of aluminum. Okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks pretty.
But nice. It's a Solo cup. It's essentially a Solo cup, but it's aluminum. It's a keeper.
I'm gonna
take it home.
You?
I'm good, but I'm gonna take it home with me. This is me at an Airbnb. We're at it's basically
you're
a college
stealing
house.
it from the Airbnb. You just steal cups wherever you go.
Wherever I go, if it's a decent cup, if it's got some structure to it, which is a key element, it's got to have structure. It can't be a flimsy plastic cup. If there's a little bit of girth to the side wall, then it's probably going to be in my pocket.
Girth to the side wall. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox. We've never missed an episode, so we're doing this. So we're doing this podcast for about 30 minutes because we love everybody who listens to the show, and we don't want to break the streak, and that's what's happening.
Yes, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox right now, down 2-1 on Sunday Night Baseball. Scott's at a barbecue, interrupted his cornhole run to come on the pod. I am in between dinner and birthday cake right now, drinking on my Fun Dad glass. So
nice.
What
are you drinking?
What's going on with the podcast right now? I'm drinking an IPA called Object Permanence from Buttonwoods Brewery in Rhode Island. It's very good.
There you go. All right, represent Rhode Island.
IPA.
Rocco Baldelli.
I told Rocco Baldelli, that's right. I told Scott that I was going to tell a little story to get the mood right on the pod. That'll shed some light on tonight's game as well as we're recording this. So Harrison is sitting on my dad's lap in the living room. We're all watching the game. And Harrison's obsessed with my dad. Follows him everywhere. Just like nonstop conversations. Papa, did you see this? Papa, did you see that? Every car that drives by, every boat that goes by, everything. Papa, Papa, Papa. And it's very, very cute. But so he's sitting on the couch with him on my dad's lap. And the Red Sox mount a little 2-out rally in the bottom of the second inning. Dominic Smith, first baseman for the Red Sox, not fleet of foot, steals second base. Not even a throw down from the Yankees because there's a runner on third base. And if you remember, this happened, I believe, also in the Dodgers series as well.
They should have thrown down, but they did not.
Right.
Yes.
And they didn't throw down. And so same situation happened. My dad just burst.
It was actually it was a double steal. There was a guy going to third, guy going to second, and they threw to third instead. Had whomever it was running, I forget who it was, dead in the rights, but similar situation, yeah.
My dad just screams. And Harrison loses it. He gets so scared because he thinks he's mad at him. Harrison
Papa, no.
Thinks my dad's mad at him. And then so my dad's sitting there trying to explain that, no, it's just the stupid Yankees that I hate. Not you. Not you. I'm sorry. I'm just mad at the baseball game. And it's just like trying to explain that to a 3-year-old.
This is how it starts. This is exactly how it starts.
Harrison him early.
Harrison is screwed.
It's like if you ever wonder why I am the way I am, there's a look right into it live.
Andrew is sitting on his dad's lap in the fourth inning of a game in 1989 when Mel Hall was trying to impress his 14-year-old girlfriend in the stands and went first to third on a ball that had no business going first to third and got into a pickle going first to third. That doesn't happen often. Andrew goes flying. His dad goes nuts. Roastmaster Rick is screaming at the television and Stump Merrill, who's the manager of the New York Yankees, and here we are today with the next generation.
It's just like Leanne looks at me like, are you going to say something? What am I going to say? This is Father's Day. Pipe down over there.
Right. Yeah. No, there's on Father's Day there's a lot of give. You have a lot of give on Father's Day.
My dad is like literally the most calm person until it comes to the Yankees, and then he's just completely irrational.
The only time I met your dad was at your wedding, and that's
he came to an event.
Oh, did he? Okay, the only time I remember meeting your dad,
an event.
the only time I remember meeting your dad was at your wedding. I guess that was the time I had extended time with him, was able to like have a conversation. And yeah, was way too even keeled. It was nothing like I was expecting. You know, he looks like Alan Alda, and that's when
I had never heard that before you.
Yeah. Oh, spitting
Before
image.
you said
It's
it,
like Little Miss Sunshine. Like he's screaming at the kid in the bus or the van. But yeah, look, you Yankees with a 3-game set in Fenway. Garrett Cole threw some pitches, which is good. Looks like he's coming back. I have not heard the latest if it is official that he's
Nothing's official
pitching in the Bronx, but yeah, but it looks like he's making that next move. I would be shocked if they didn't. And I got to tell you, when I'm looking at the Red Sox lineup, when I see the guys playing, it's crazy how many new names there are on that team. As far as position players too. We were kind of laughing about this and making fun of the pitching staff and how, there's a few names that you might know, but I mean, we were having a hard time pronouncing the starting pitcher of Friday night's game. But when you go position players and you go down the line, like there are a lot of new names. This is a new regime. So the fact that, maybe there's a little blood that's being stirred by a guy named Alex Verdugo is a very good thing, because tip of the cap to Alex Verdugo for Friday night, which is a game that I was able to watch the whole thing of. We left on very early Saturday morning. But he started out of the gate, man, hot. And he's the type of guy, he's very outspoken. He's very much the guy that wears the heart on his sleeve. And I think that's what was attractive to Judge and Rizzo and the guys that were trying to recruit him over here. And he did the same thing when he was there, and he had a hell of a night, and I'm very happy for him. I think it was a full circle moment, and the fact that it happened in Fenway and he had a good day was awesome. You mentioned something, I think you put it in a chat or one of our texts or whatever, something about like, I hope this is an opportunity for him to stir the pot. Maybe he'll get one high and tight, and we'll get some feelings that are not great about each other, and we can learn some new names and have some new hatred. But tip of the cap to Alex Verdugo for having the night he did. That was awesome.
So before I get to that, quickly, to your point about the Red Sox lineup not being the Red Sox of old, do you know who's hitting cleanup tonight for Boston?
Rob Refsnyder. Hell yeah. Dude, it's really difficult for me to say anything negative about Rob Refsnyder because I love him so much.
Come on.
Yeah.
Though,
he's still in the big leagues. He's still in the big leagues. Like there's not a person on the face of this planet, maybe besides me, who thought that he'd be in the big leagues. And even me, I thought he might have a little run, but he's been, 10 years? It's close.
No.
7? 2016?
2016, yeah.
So we're 8 years.
More than double the amount of time that I thought he would have in the bigs.
Good for him.
No, to your point, yeah, I had said after Verdugo hit that home run, first pitch, by the way, which just like, he was so fired up. Pimping it around the bases, getting the Yankees dugout off their feet. Like you saw the Yes, because the game was on Yes on Friday that I watched. Immediately the camera showed the Yankees dugout. They were all at the top step, like cheering Verdugo on. He was hearing boos from the crowd and then just jacks a home run to center field. It was a really cool moment. And I did text you guys. I was like, I hope he gets one in the middle of the back for this, and we finally have some juice to this rivalry again.
Yeah.
Not that I want him to get hurt or anything like that.
Sure.
No, just get plunked, start some shit. That's all I want from this Yankees-Red Sox rivalry again, because I miss it. it.
The hatred between two teams is two rivals is unmatched. And with the Yankees and the Red Sox, it was the biggest rivalry, the most hated rivalry, possibly in all of sports. I know there's some college rivalries that probably you put up against it, but as far as professional ranks go, the Yankees and the Red Sox, especially during the Yankees run, and then obviously when the Red Sox came back from 3-0 in 2014 and they did their thing, like that it essentially ended the rivalry, to be honest, because it gave something to the Red Sox. They were forever the team that could never go over the hump. So we were always
it was never that was
chance
the
were
unique
there.
thing about it. It was never a
Yeah.
back and forth rivalry. It was a one-sided rivalry, but still a huge rivalry. And yeah, nothing's ever going to top that 03-04, where every single game
14, I said, yeah.
Every single game.
I'm off 10
in
years.
Every single game in 03-04, like pick a middle of July game in the regular season. It was bigger than an October playoff night against any other team.
Yeah, and that's why the Yankees charge a stupid amount of money for the Red Sox series still. They haven't gotten the memo that the rivalry is not what it used to be. But yeah,
I thought that
Friday night,
moment
at least it was awesome.
It was very, very cool. And he had a big night, and the Yankees kind of cruised in that game. So Verdugo, let's just do 2 positives and 2 negatives from the series since we're only 2 games in. Verdugo obviously is the number 1 positive from there, but Hill was not on what we would call on his game. He was wild, deep counts on everyone, 4 walks, 4 hits through 5 innings. So you add up those base runners through 5 innings, you got 8 through 5 innings, which is very uncharacteristic for him. You know, coming into the last couple starts, he had more walks than hits, but his hits were so freakishly low for the amount of innings that he pitched that his whip was still below 1. And on Friday night, even though he didn't give up a lot of runs, I mean, 8 base runners in 5 innings. That's usually going to be a recipe for disaster.
And that's the the give that we've allowed with him as far as fans. When you look at Luis Gil, he walks guys, but those might as well be. You look at the whip. The whip stat is there for a reason. It's you're looking at runners on base essentially. You're looking at these guys able to stack the base path and see what happens. And the fact that he gave up the amount of walks that he did, and he's given up hits at the same time. Eight runners on in 5 innings is not a recipe for a good thing. So he's allowed to have. This is what I'll say. He's allowed to have a night like this. He's allowed to have a night like this. That's where some grace comes in as fans when you see a guy who's been absolutely unbelievable and going over every expectation anybody could ever have. When you have a guy like this that you're like every single time he's just dominant and dominant and dominant and dominant. He's going to have a few of these. He's going to have more of these probably through the rest of the season than what we've seen in the first half. It's going to be at a higher pace most likely. That's just what happens. So don't think it's not going to happen. And the fact that he's been so lights out, I feel like we just need to appreciate what he has been, and he's going to continue to grow. But guys are going to get to him. They're going to get to him, and I think in division you're going to see that more too as the season happens. But he was hittable, and I think it was because of his location. It's a similar story with Rodon when you see how he was hittable. When these guys are not walking people at a high level, it means they're throwing the ball where they want to. But when you have 4 walks in 5 innings, it also means you're not locating your fastball where you want it to go, so it becomes more hittable, and that's the problem. So,
well, yeah, I mean, Rodon though I think it was 5 doubles, and in the first couple innings too, he was just getting smacked around. Like that's not something normally that even this year, even in his quote bad starts, Rodon didn't get hit like that. Like that.
No, but I think a lot of people think of location being missed as walks, and you're going to let people on free passes. But location, if you have a bunch of free passes, most likely he's not executing the strikes at a high level either. And the fastball that is normally on black or close to black is in the heart of the plate, and he's telegraphing it or whatever. It's just the location being missed goes beyond walks, and it turns into extra base hits or hits in Luis Gil's situation. But yeah, it's just a total story that there was a lack of control in both starts.
And that's the number 1 negative from the first couple games against Boston is Rodon had his second to worst start of the season if you go by Baseball Reference game score, which basically tallies up all of the individual at-bats in a positive and negative sense and comes up with a game score. His game score against Boston was a 37, and actually his worst one of the year was against Baltimore. His last start against Baltimore was a 26, so I don't know. I don't know how you get much worse than what he did yesterday against Boston. Like I said, a lot of extra base hits the first couple. The game was lost in the second inning. Devers' 2-run double in the second inning. That was the game right there.
Yeah, and of course it was Devers, who's been a Yankee killer for his entire career. But that's a name that we do know, and we will always know because that guy kills the Yankees. But I don't know. It's You could go down the Carlos Rodon path and be like, oh, this is what he was last year. But again, he's been so freaking good all year long. It's gonna happen, and it's a tough spot.
So freaking good. He hasn't been so freaking
compared to
good.
the year before. He was.
Oh, sure, compared to the year before. I mean, Rodon has had the type of year where if you're a baseball stat nerd, you say the other shoe is going to drop on Rodon because his expected numbers have not been nearly as good as his actual numbers. That doesn't mean he sucks. That doesn't mean it's been a bad season. It's just if you believe in those types of things, water is going to find its level type of thing.
And as we mentioned, he's been playing with a lead for a long time. He's gotten a ton of run support. So when you're doing that, you can be more aggressive in the strike zone. You can be more aggressive with the way that you're throwing the ball. And if it's a tighter game, then it is a different story. So you're right. Let me take that back. Let me walk that back a little bit and say that for Rodon, the way that I want to see him perform in tight games. Like that's, I think, next step of us seeing what he is when you don't get that run support, when you got to stay at bay with the other team and still go 6-7 innings deep into a game. That's when we need to see him still executing and still getting the type of performance that he's doing it when the Yankees are actually giving him run support too.
His body language on Saturday night, it was interesting because he had the body language of someone that was just like, I just don't have it tonight. He was just he when he was giving up those doubles, he was just like, yeah, bad pitch. Like that's the type of body language. And when you can, like, it's not like the type of pitcher where it's like, how do you hit that? It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That was the type of body language.
It's almost the other side. Like, I got away with that. It's you're looking at it. Your stuff isn't great. So you're like, I can't believe I got away with that. It's almost expected from the pitcher, I think, at that point, that you're getting barreled up. Yeah,
he kind of did one of these after Devers hit the double off him, where he's just like, yeah, that makes sense. You just racketed that ball to left center field.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Factor Meals. Factor is a fantastic product, mainly because it is just the easiest damn thing in the world if you're looking for tasty and healthy meals. The process is so easy. You go on their website and you choose from over 35 delicious meals each week. You can customize your deliveries with 60 different add-ons, and highly skilled chefs prepare your food and deliver it straight to you. The food is always fresh, never frozen. Heating the meals up takes just 2 minutes, and then the best part, there is no mess. You just take your little tray and you put it in the garbage and you are done. Factor is no prep, no mess, just delicious food. If you are going to be traveling a lot this summer, or frankly you just don't want to go to the grocery store, I cannot recommend Factor Meals enough. Head to factormeals.com/Bronx50 and use code Bronx50 to get 50% off. Half off is a great deal. FACTORMEALS.com/Bronx50. Thank you very much, Factor. All right, the second positive from the first couple games. It's a little bit of a stretch to find these positives in the first couple games. Verdugo definitely was. But if we're looking at another one, Ferguson had a really good outing. 1 1/3 innings of no hit, no run ball, 4 strikeouts. He stepped up on Friday night, and you might be saying stepped up. The Yankees kind of blew the game out. It was a 4-run game, and Canely had just walked back-to-back batters and could not find the strike zone in the 6th inning. It did not feel like a easy win in that moment of the game. And Ferguson
Nothing in Fenway is easy.
Always late innings at Fenway Park. Yeah.
The history of Fenway Park, as we know, late in the game, that team comes back quite often. So you can never have a lead that's too big and feel good about it.
Right. But it did feel like Canely couldn't find the strike zone. And it's a 4-run game in the 6th inning, and you're like, I'm not, like, how are we going to get through these next few innings? Ferguson kind of came in and just threw some cold water on that fire.
Turd Ferguson, good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
someone's got to step up, dude, because this bullpen, man.
It's weird. You texted into the group at one point that it feels like a mirage, and it's one of those. It's a strange bullpen, and I've had my eye on this bullpen since since spring training, because there just aren't a lot of proven guys in the pen that you can say, okay, I know we have the 6th inning, I know we have the 7th inning, I know we have the 8th inning. The only inning that you're looking at is the 9th inning, and even that now is a guy that that allows contact and doesn't give you the best feeling. It's still a ninth inning that has way too much action. So yeah, it's on a given day, and now we're giving flowers to Caleb Ferguson, who has walked in with a 5-something ERA, who's not been great, and even the ERA could be more bloated because he's let inherited runners on base that have gone to somebody else. And it's just one of those. It's a bullpen that doesn't make me feel great, even though the statistics look very good. They look very good. It's still got to be Brian Cashman's focus for what they're looking for, and I think we're probably getting into the world of debating that with other focuses on the infield and some players there. But the bullpen is still, to me, the number one spot that he's got to be looking at.
It's the number one spot because I think it's the most upgradable, meaning it's the clearest place that you can upgrade. Like
without spending money. Let's just say it. Without spending money.
But also, I mean, if they're going to acquire another infielder, there's a difficult decision that has to be made. Do you bench Rizzo? Do you bench Glaber? Do you bench DJ?
You also have to spend dollars. You have to spend dollars.
Probably
that
have
they're
to spend
going to hit this
dollars
path.
too, unless you offload dollars.
2x dollars.
Offload dollars to whatever. But take the money out of it. Like benching Rizzo, Glaber, or DJ is not an easy decision for the coaches. You agree?
I agree. I think,
but
I agree.
Adding a bullpen arm to come in there and take one of those spots, that's
can of corn.
Yeah.
But as we go deeper into the summer, the speculation and the microscope is going to be so much tighter on first and third. I think Glaber at this point is going to be. It's not worth anybody's story. It's not worth anybody for him. It's not worth it. Rizzo is not going to get dealt, but they could potentially look to upgrade the position.
You can't have a first baseman who has absolutely no power and then in seemingly easy plays just freaking has a brain fart.
But at the same time, as Yankees fans, which I know they go, a lot of Yankees fans go down depth of like, hey, just deal this guy for this guy. Who wants a first baseman that has no power?
No one's saying deal Rizzo because he's making $16-17 million.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's taking that.
I know, exactly. But where are you upgrading? You're upgrading by acquisition only. You mentioned something about shedding contracts. That's not happening. That's why they have to go cheap options, which you go to the bullpen. You're not going to pay for a third baseman that is going to give you, unless you're paying in prospects in a way that is going to get you. You're not shedding dollars from your existing salaries. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be creative.
I was thinking maybe someone would take. I guess it would be Glaber, but no.
But again, no. Why? Unless you're dealing to an actual team that believes that they can go deep into the playoffs, and that just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I agree.
You could, and no one's taking LeMahieu's dollars, and Rizzo no one's taking that money either.
DJ has 2 more years.
Right, that's a lot of dollars. So you have to upgrade it in a way that makes sense, and that's why I've talked about this for a couple of weeks now. I think a lot of the upgrades in Hal Steinbrenner's mind, and which equates to Brian Cashman's mind, is like, hey, the guys that are playing in the minor leagues right now, what are they doing? What are they doing? Can we catch lightning in a bottle from a Ben Rice? Can we catch lightning in a bottle from Alvarez? Like these are things that are going to be real. They are going to be real. They've been telecasting what they're doing with salary, and unfortunately at the deadline, there's just not much they can do. And there's not much they can take on because it's a salary at 2x. So whether they shed contracts or not, they're not going to take it on because it's a 2x contract. Anybody who comes over,
that's
such they're on the fringe.
The more I think about that when The Athletic published that, like, come on, that's an inside job.
What is?
Oh, if we add a player, it's actually 2x.
It's a narrative, but it's also real.
It's real. But if it wasn't actually going to prevent the Yankees from doing anything, whatever.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you're looking at who you're adding, and then it's hard to swallow value of a guy who makes $4 million or $5 million and you're paying him 10.
If you acquire a reliever, an impending free agent reliever who's making $6 million this year, that means you're going to have to add him for $3 million for the second half of the season. So that's really $4.5 million. If we come to find out they don't do that type of deal because it's a 2x acquisition of dollars,
it'll never be a fact that we find out it's because of dollars, though. It'll be speculation and pure speculation.
If it's speculation and we think that's the reason, that's some BS.
Well, it's going to be the case. And this year is the year where it becomes complete bullshit because they have such a good team that you believe that if they're over the top with one other player, two other players that put them over that level where they can compete at a much more competitive nature in the playoffs, it's going to get people that much more fired up. And I think you really zero in on the position players more so because they are. And again, it depends on what happens over the next month. If the next month we don't get more production out of first base or third base, again, I think second base is a moot point. I think Gleyber is going to be the second baseman. It's first base and third base. It's how does DJ continue to react from him coming back? How does Rizzo bounce back from a season that's been very, very terrible for him? How do those two act? Those are the positions that are very clear or can be very clear if they continue on the similar path that they need to upgrade. And the upgrades will cost money. So therefore, the narrative will be the Yankees didn't want to spend money to upgrade those positions because I believe that they can get relief pitchers for cheap. Cashman's done it a million times, and he'll do it again. But the position players, that's a higher dollar commodity. You're not going to just find a position player out of nowhere from a team that's not competing, and then he's going to come in and make an impact. That doesn't happen. These are guys normally that you have a lot of competition for on the free agent market that are either being paid currently or will be being paid, but they're not as easy to acquire. So that will be first and third base.
Well, while we're on the topic of money, my dad already has the Yankees blamed for not signing Soto. And I told them they can't not sign Soto. That I legitimately think the fan base won't accept it. But he thinks that there's no chance.
So I agree with you, which maybe not shocking to people who are listening to this, but so I'm out at University of Oregon, and at some point my youngest brother got steered off course. He was never a Yankees fan, but my stepmother is she is rooted for the Orioles, but she's always rooted for the Mets as well. She's always been a Mets fan, and he is rooting for the Mets and has rooted for the Mets for a long time.
How do you root for the Mets right now? How do you do that?
I can't understand it, but it's beyond my understanding. At the same time, we had a debate yesterday. He's like, the Mets are going to sign Soto. I'm like, you're crazy, okay? If you think that, first of all, you need to talk about what he's going to get, right? And he's going to get
600 plus. Like, seriously.
I still think it's going to be between 5 and 6, but maybe it's like between 6 and 7 is the
You think it's going to be 15 years?
Yeah, I think he's 25.
Is he going to get 40
the age
million?
40? Yeah, I think he.
That's
yeah,
600
probably.
million.
All right, fine, $600 million. Let's just call it that. If he's going to get 600 million, if he's going to get 650, do you think that the Yankees are going to lose that contract to the New York Mets?
You
cannot lose that. Exactly.
You can't lose it to anyone.
Okay, you can't lose it to anyone.
Lose it to anyone.
Fine, but you cannot lose it to the Mets.
You cannot have Soto, who has been so.
You're right. The Yankees fans won't accept it.
They won't accept it.
We've seen now what it is. Judge and Soto. I can't see anything more.
You can't show us what Soto is,
and then take it away.
You can't do that.
No, you can't. And he knows that. And where does he want to play? This is something that we've talked about, and I was having this debate in this house. He's going to go where he wants to go. And I believe that this is the best situation for him across the league.
But he's not going to take a discount.
He's not going to take a discount because they're going to get paid. He's going to get paid, but he wants to get paid. I've been saying that forever. He's going to get paid, but he wants to get paid. So,
but we're talking.
I think you throw that out. It's all about the situation. What's the better situation? Hitting next to Aaron Judge. That's it.
Sure, but
like who else can compete with that? The Braves.
The Braves.
The Dodgers. There's like 5 teams, if that. And it's not even a total competition because Aaron Judge is number 1, number 2 player in the league. You can't compete with that. You can't compete by hearing. No, I still don't think you can compete with that, even with Baltimore.
No, I don't think any of those. I just don't think you can't. If you're Hal Steinbrenner, if you're Brian Cashman, you can't walk. You can't.
They're
walk
backed
the
in a corner.
streets of
They
New
have to
York.
sign him.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. Exactly. So
that's what I told my dad, and he said he doesn't think they're going to do it, and I said, well,
because he looks at it through a glass half empty. That's why.
Not even
the glass is never half full.
Glass
never half full. That glass has never been half full.
That glass.
Roastmaster Rick, and the glass, it's always half empty.
See my glass right now. If there was a hole in it and the beer dropped out, that's what my dad is looking at.
Yeah,
right.
It's half empty.
Be
careful,
negative.
By the way. Be careful when you go to games. I was at I went to Old Dominion University, and I went into what they call Big Blue Room. It's like the VIP alumni room where you donate some dollars and you get in. The beers that when you fill them up, they have this magnetic bottom. So the fill, you put it down on the thing, right?
Yeah.
And the beer comes up, right?
MetLife has those.
Yeah, so you have the magnetic bottom. If you're one of these people, which I apparently am and didn't realize I am, I have my pinky under the cup. So when I drink, my pinky's right here, and I hit the magnetic bottom. Yeah. So then there's beer all over me, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? And there's beer all over my lap and shit. So just this is a word of caution. Be careful if you're in that situation.
When I went to that EPL game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What's
EPL?
London, English Premier
That's
League.
soccer.
Yeah, they had
that's
that as well.
Football.
Well, I'm about to win. I'm about to change your mind on soccer.
Okay.
Beer, 6 pounds, which is I guess $8, but for a 16-ounce beer, 20-ounce beer inside a game.
20-ounce beer for $8 at a game.
It was a big cup. It was like a souvenir cup.
Yeah. Oh, did you keep it?
No.
Missed opportunity. I mean, I would say if it was one of those magnet bottoms, I wouldn't have kept that either.
But at Yankee Stadium, that's $18.
Yeah, and I'm keeping it 100%. It's in the rotation, and I'm keeping the people around me who have the same cup.
All right, so the next negative, I'm curious your thoughts on this. I'm going to read you some stats. Anthony Volpe, last 10 games, 146 batting average, 146 on base percentage. You notice those two numbers are the same. 333 OPS. He's 7 for 48. When you compare that to his previous 21 games, which included his long hit streak, he hit 341, 378, 927 OPS. We on another streak?
It's half the. Well, you talk about half the games, right?
Okay,
you're picking out half the
hitting
games.
146. He's hitting 146 over his last 10 games. I don't think he has a hit tonight.
Yeah, no, it's he's gonna go through slumps. He's a young player that's gonna learn.
This is.
Talk to me.
Down.
Talk to me.
Up.
We need
down. Up.
5 years.
Down.
In 5 years, we'll know what he is. I don't know what else to tell you.
5 years. So when he's hitting free agency, we'll know what he is.
I don't know what to tell you besides
so when
the fact
he's
that
about to hit free agency, we'll know what he is.
I think that Anthony Volpe is a good baseball player, and he's going to only get better. And that has been proven over the last year because it's all he's been playing.
Can we not be so schizophrenic?
I understand you want. I don't know. I don't even know what consistency is for you. You just want someone to be a 250 hitter forever.
No. Don't have.
You want them to be a 300 hitter, then a 250 hitter, and then a 300 hitter, then a 250 hitter. Is that what you want? Because that's like
what have your eyes told you? The last 10 games, he's non-competitive at the plate, and then in his hit streak, he was awesome.
So what do you attribute that to?
Before his hit streak,
but what do you attribute that to?
Non-competitive. And
what's
then in
the
first 2 weeks to start the season, he was awesome. I'm not asking for someone to be 250 this, 300 that, or whatever. Just don't look so damn good and then so damn shitty in bursts. We're not talking about just one at-bat here, one at-bat there. This is 10 straight games. Every single plate appearance, he sucks.
I mean, I think that's a little much. I don't think he sucks. I think that
he's hitting 146 and has not had a walk.
Yeah, I hear you. The numbers don't help my case here. I don't know what to tell you, but besides the fact that I have more patience than you, that's it. That's it. That's what it comes down to. That is exactly what it comes down to.
I'm using my eyes, and I just don't.
I just have more patience. I have more patience than you. That's it. When it comes to ball players,
Last
more
night,
patience.
Saturday, 0 for 5.
I have more patience. I give them more string. If they have not proven something to me, I give them. I said string, but I mean rope. I give them more rope. I give them more time.
Friday. Yeah. Okay.
What did he do with that one at bat? He scored a couple times, didn't he?
He scored once on Friday.
There you go. I just look at the end of the day. I just have more. I believe that he's going to be a very good player, and I think sometimes it takes time. And with all of these advanced analytics and with all of the scrutiny that these guys have right now, it looks
Trevino
bad at
cannot
times.
Throw. I'm watching the game right now on an iPad. Okay,
Yeah,
see right there.
yeah.
Trevino, lollipop arm. Just they're running all over him.
That's always been the case.
Well, it sucks when you're.
He can frame though. It's going to be a problem for him.
He can frame when the robo come. What's he gonna do?
He needs to make his money right now.
All right, I got a couple more things to talk about, but first, Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, meaning buying tickets to a baseball game on Game Time is faster and easier than ever. The Yankees are coming home for Baltimore. That is a huge series. If you want to go check out the Game Time app and see if there's good tickets to be had. I love using the Game Time app because there's a lot of great features, but my personal favorites are the flash deals, so you can see what sections the best deals are in, the all-in pricing, so you do not get hit with those surprise fees at checkouts, and the seat views from inside the stadium from real people taking real pictures. You also get a nice little panorama. It's a really great app, so streamlined, very easy to use. Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to sporting events, but you can also find tickets to concerts, comedy shows, theater, and much more. I took Leanne to a nice little night out on Broadway a couple months ago in January when I yelled at those women behind me, so that was fun. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section in a row for less money, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. I just realized my dad yells, and now I'm just yelling at people behind. It's just, oh boy, okay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code Bronx for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create an account, redeem code BRONX for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Do you keep that hat in Rhode Island?
Yes, I do.
Because the only time you're wearing it is when you're at the beach. So you must keep it there.
Yeah,
you don't bring it with you.
It's hanging on my. There's a hook on the back of the door of our bedroom, which is just overrun with children's stuff at this point. This hat hangs there.
That makes a lot of sense. Because the only time it's come out is it's the vacation hat. It's the beach hat.
It's the vacation hat. Yeah, I got a nice, I got a nice glow, aka sunburn today. It's great.
Yeah, nice.
You mentioned Cole. He rehabbed again on Friday. He threw 70 pitches, 46 were strikes. He touched 97.8 miles per hour, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 10 strikeouts. So Boone on the broadcast on Friday said that they will see what the next step is for Cole. He did not say one way or the other, and nothing has been definitive yet. The Yankees are playing Baltimore this week. If Cole does not start in one of those games, the Yankees rotation will line up of Cortez, Heel, and then TBD on Thursday. But we will see. I would say he starts Thursday. That's my guess. That's my bet.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's consistent to what we've been saying for the last 2 weeks here. So I don't understand if you look at these numbers and the guy struck out 10, hit 97. Like, what else do you need to see?
Yeah, I know.
For real. Like, what else?
He doesn't need to be thrown.
Why is it different? Why is it different that he's doing the things that he's doing, which seem to be very close to what he physically can do in the major leagues? Why would you want to waste something like that in AAA? It doesn't make sense.
Let me ask you this against Baltimore this week. Are you going to put stock in if they win this series?
What do you mean by that?
Or lose this series? Like, last time they played Baltimore, 4 games, early May, they lost 3 out of 4. Then they lost the Dodgers series. If you just look at like who they played in between.
You're talking about good teams now, yeah.
Who they played in between the Baltimore series in early May and the Dodgers series in early June. Lot of crap. Well, a lot of AL Central in there.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I think that exactly what you just said about the fact that they lost, was it 3 or 4? The first
3 or 4 in Baltimore in early May.
That's it. you got to look at exactly that. They're already playing at a deficit at this point. The American League East is going to come down to the Yankees and the Orioles, as most think, right? So yeah, you have to win these games. So yes, I think it does matter. This series coming up is more important.
Just threw a guy out stealing
Stealing third?
No, stealing second.
Stealing second. It's perfect. Thank you, Trevino, for doing what you did.
Right after I just shit all over him for a lollipop arm.
So if you're trying to win,
Ref Snyder got thrown out. Your boy.
He's still a Yankee at heart. If you're trying to win the AL East, you need to win these games. So yeah, I do put stock in this one. I think this is an important series.
They're a good team.
It's a good team, but it's also it's a line in the sand series. Yeah. This is your division opponent right now. The Orioles are real. You have to beat them. You lost 3 of 4 to start the season. You're a very good team. Everybody sees you as that. You need to win these games. So again, more to the point, Garrett Cole needs to be pitching in this series over Cody Petit. No offense, no shade to Cody Petit at all. The guy's been unbelievable. But yeah, you gotta throw your best hand at these guys. We don't have as many games as we normally do. We don't have as many games. You gotta maximize that.
I mean, we all think the Yankees are good. They've got 50 wins at this point in the season, and it's the middle of June. Like, we all think they're. We don't
think they're a good team. They are a good team. They're a good team.
Yeah, I agree. They're a good team, but like, then beat Baltimore.
You should beat Baltimore. You got it. It's more important. You're right. No, I do take stock in this series. I think this is a big series, and that they should be getting very much up for the series. Which again, you get your ace back for the series, it gives you a jolt. So if they don't do that, I think that's a missed opportunity, because I don't really understand why you would start him in Scranton otherwise if he's throwing 85 pitches. I don't get. It doesn't make sense to me in that regard. Similar. You know what else doesn't make sense? Which I know we haven't touched on yet, which has got to be coming up in your notes. Maybe it's not next, but it's going to be after I say this. The fact that Jason Dominguez is being held back at certain amounts of innings, and now he got pulled, and now he's on the injured list.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why?
Is it because we're fucking with when he's playing and when he's not playing, and because he has to get pulled, and then he can only play 6 innings in the field here, and then how about we just let the kid play?
Well, the latest update is that it's his side, which is
so what, an oblique? Yeah. That's not good.
Not good.
Not good when you have a violent swing like a guy like Jason Dominguez who swings out of his. That's what we want.
Depending on the severity of the oblique injury, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, or it could be 2 months. Like,
he's put on the 7-day IL, right?
Yeah,
that's
they're probably
temporary thing.
Probably shutting him down for 7 days to see how he reacts, and then take it from there.
Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of the fact that these decisions are being made on who's going to play by injury, but
that's how shit goes down.
That's baseball season.
162 baseball season.
That's baseball. Yeah, no, it's really unfortunate. And again, like, I do think they dick around with him too much, and the fact that you can play 5 innings, then 7 innings in the field, then just let them play. These guys play baseball. Let them play baseball. If they're ready to play baseball, let them play baseball. He's on a pitcher where he needs to monitor the amount of pitches that he's throwing. Let him play baseball.
The innings played on defense is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Insane. It makes no sense.
I agree. All right.
Well, we did it.
I think that's a podcast.
We did it. I hope they win tonight.
Yeah, we'll see.
What's the score?
It was 3-1.
Okay. Need to hurry up.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. Next episode will be after the Baltimore series. Scott will be home. I will be home.
Yep. Yellow Hat will be left in Rhode Island.
This was a real episode.
This is a good episode. Look, this is as real as it gets. We've been drinking all day. You got your yellow hat on.
How many gin and tonics deep are you?
I'm like 3 gin and tonics deep. I drank a beer earlier, and I had something else too.
Something else, was it?
At some point, somebody gave me something.
Was it some other substance?
No. I have not done that yet. It's coming.
Yeah. That's right. You're on the West Coast. It's early for you. All right, guys.
Which I hate being on the West Coast. For the record, the East Coast is by far the most dominant coast in the entire world. The fact that you wake up
out there.
The fact that you wake up at if I wake up at 7 a.m.
The day is over. When you wake up, the day's over.
If I wake up at 7 a.m., you guys have all done things for 3 hours. I've missed everything.
I was up at 4:30 this morning.
I hate it. I hate the fact that I miss out on things. I feel like I miss out on everything when I'm here.
Yeah.
There's a life being lived on the East Coast. A real good life.
Submit your mailbag questions, info@bronxpinstripes.com. Scott reads the emails in bed. So just note that as you were sending them.
Or sometimes I forward them. But yes, I'll eventually read them.
I believe this is it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday series against Baltimore. Is that right? Do I have that right?
I don't know. There's no game tomorrow.
Okay, so that's right. So I'm trying to figure out when we're. Oh, it's 4-1 right now. 4-2. Oh, who just hit a home run? Ah, Trevino hit a home run.
He fucking hates you.
Just hit a home run.
Man,
I should talk to you.
Keep talking shit. Keep talking.
Maybe
he's a Romanite. Maybe it's the Romanites, the
Who do you want me to
Trevinites.
talk shit about? Let's see if this works.
I want you to talk shit about
Anthony
Rizzo.
cannot do shit. Anthony Rizzo is toast. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
all right,
too intentional.
Too intentional. We'll talk to you guys on Friday.